Nyajong, good morning to all of you. So this week I was on the radio talking about forgiveness and it did not record the audio file. So I'm doing it again today on a Saturday because a lot of you have reached out and really wanted to listen to this topic of forgiveness. So again, you're listening to the Do Good Talk Show on Wisconsin radio station WNRB LP 93.3 FM, happening every third Thursday of the month from 12 to 12:30. So that's originally when I will be coming on live and also hopefully getting the recording right so that you can hear on replay through our YouTube channel and other social media. My name is Yengyee Lo, President and CEO of Faithful Consulting, a business focused on creating social change in the workplace through coaching, consulting, and training. The vision and mission of the Do Good Talk Show is to connect and share knowledge that can help you or those you love. Our sole purpose is really to uplift our community. So last year, we asked what you wanted to hear, and we have a full list of topics. This week or this month, February 2023, we are talking about forgiveness. This topic is really important for many reasons. It's because we don't talk very much, especially in the Hmong community, and maybe overall in the Asian community is what I see. We don't talk about forgiveness and how necessary it is to forgive and to have those critical conversations with people we love, whether it's family, relatives, friends, so that it can bridge better relationships and connections. So again, feel free to message us with any questions, any feedback. We love it all on this topic that you have. So you can do that through our social media handle, Instagram, Faithful Consulting, or through our Facebook, Faithful Consulting again, or through our LinkedIn, Faithful Consulting, as well as on our website, www.faithfulconsulting.com. You can reach us many ways, and we are here for you. So let's talk about why it is important to discuss about forgiveness, especially in the Asian community. It is really important because you don't actually realize that you need it more. So if you experience trauma, experience maybe things that are hurtful and you bottle it up, it stays with you and it creates resentment and anger. So that's actually the definition of forgiveness. What does forgiveness mean to you? First off, want to pause there, give you a chance to define that. But really, forgiveness means different things to everyone. In general, though, forgiveness is an internal decision to let go of resentment and anger. So that's why it's important for us to talk about forgiveness, because if we're holding on to resentment and anger within our body, it impacts us. It impacts our health and our well-being and the way our narratives are, and it shapes the way we behave on a daily basis. And think about holding on to resentment and anger. Oh, that's a lot of burden. That's a lot of anguish, and that's a lot to keep. So that's why it's so important to talk about this topic. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or excusing someone's actions or making up with someone if you're not ready. It is not accepting that what the other person did is okay. That is not forgiveness. Forgiveness is essentially letting go of the resentment and anger within yourself. Okay? And it's really letting go of that hold, right? That hold that event or action or experience has on you so that you can be set free. That is forgiveness. And I mentioned already why it's so important. It's it's so important because it's good for our well-being. A study by the Mayo Clinic stated that really, if the benefits of forgiveness is healthier relationships, a better, better, more intimate relationships, improve mental health. So just imagine if you're able to forgive someone and build a deeper relationship. For example, forgive your partner for infidelity and really mend that relationship. How much stronger are you guys as a couple moving forward? If that can happen. I'm not saying for you to have that happen, but I've seen couples where that's happened and they're able to forgive each other and really mend their relationship and work together as a partner to move forward. And it led to really a healthy, more intimate, deeper relationship together. So that's some of the benefits. The other are, again, improved mental health, less anxiety, stress, and hostility, fewer symptoms of depression, lower blood pressure, a stronger immune system, improve heart health, improve self-esteem. So these are all what has been studied that in forgiving someone can be benefits for you. So why is it that it's so hard to forgive? If there's so many good benefits to you personally, it's hard to forgive because the hurt and the pain, right? We're in the hurt and the pain. And that's hard. When we've been hurt, it leaves a mark. It leaves a mark on our heart. And so it makes it really hard. It can then act as a protective barrier. So when you don't forgive, it's like a protective barrier. So you don't experience the same hurt again. So it can act as a defense mechanism. Is holding on to this can really help. So there's two fuels that fuels us: love or hate, or right. So we are so upset about something and we change laws, or we are passionate about something, we change laws. So the two emotions that compel us or push us forward, they're the same, but they're the complete opposite, right? Love and anger, So when we feel really passionate, they're all passionate emotions. It compels us, good or bad, right? So sometimes we don't want to forgive because that emotion is compelling us to, for better or for better or worse, it's that emotion that kind of continues to help us to move on. And so it serves a purpose. And so then we don't want to forgive. The other reasons why it's difficult to forgive is you want punishment for the other person. You want the other person to pay for what they've done. Another is, as hard as sometimes it is hard to accept our part in the event and action of what transpired. So for example, maybe in a relationship, I've just example, right? You can't forgive because then you have to acknowledge that there's a component of it that you are responsible for. And we're all like, right? We all have learning and responsibilities in our own action. I'm not asking you to take responsibility or say that the other person's action is a result of what transpired is your fault or that you need to own it, but just seeing where we may have contributed to this event, right? To what transpired. So those are some of the reasons why it's so difficult to forgive, and rightfully so. Really, the intention of this podcast and this episode isn't to make you forgive someone that you're not ready to forgive. That's not what it is. There's no timeline to forgiveness. Do it when you're ready, and do it because you feel empowered to, and do it because you want to let go of that hold. That's really what forgiveness is. It's no longer having that hold. And again, sometimes not forgiving someone gives it is that hold that pushes you and compels you towards something greater. And so you hold on to that thinking, hey, I'm not going to forgive because it's actually a good thing. But is it really a good thing? So really this show is and today's session is just about just being very self-aware of just the hold that resentment and anger has on us, and if it's healthy or not healthy. And if it's not healthy, it's like for us holding a piece of coal, burning coal or fire, and thinking that the other person is going to feel it, but the burn is on us, the pain is in us. So I just want you to think about that. And if it's hurting you more than it's helping you, it's time to look within and be self-aware. So again, when should I forgive someone? And what if I can't forgive them, right? Um, as I mentioned, you don't need to. You don't need to even speak to them. Like just because you forgive them doesn't mean, hey, we're going to go back and be best buds, or we're going to be the same family again, or whatever. It's not about that, right? So that it doesn't mean that. It's when you're ready. So when you're ready and it feels good for you to no longer let that hold impact your life. And sometimes it's not okay to forgive, right? There are situations where it's just really hard to forgive. You're still experiencing trauma. They don't respect your boundaries. They continue to kind of be very disrespectful to you. They put you and others at risk, and they pressure you to participate in negative behavior. So there are times when it's not about forgiveness anymore. Again, when we think about the definition, I'm going to keep pointing the definition of forgiveness. It's that resentment hold within ourselves. So if we're feeling like a dissonance, just emotionally unhealthy in that space because of an area, it's just look within and see, is it empowering for me to let this go? And could I? Is it time? Right? But don't do it if this incident is still is negatively impacting you still. This person is not forgivable to some degree. Again, but it's less about the person, the act, or the event or situation than it is about yourself, what you need. Okay. So recognize how to move forward, how to move to forgiving state. Just really recognize again that hold, and then from there, like, is it time? Is it time for me to let go of my resentment and anger towards my ex or towards my relationship, so that I can thrive? And if the result is that you thrive and you are in a better situation, maybe that's time to really consider that. And really, really be self-aware. So it starts with self-awareness, and it starts with reframing a scenario. That's another skill is to utilize to forgive, is reframing a scenario, taking ownership and accepting what is in your part and all of those components. And then saying, you know what, despite it all, I forgive me. So part of forgiving is self-forgiving, self-compassion, self-love, forgiveness in our part as well, not only the act of maybe someone else, that hey, you no longer have a hold of me. I've gotten the lesson. I'm moving forward. So I wanted to just end off quickly on this note. There's a script that we have a class model. So we have a communication model in our business. It's called a class model. It's calm, listen, ask, speak. And I'm going to give you some dialogue to have a conversation when you need to forgive your parents for how they've raised you. So before I share the dialogue or the communication, how you can communicate and forgive your parents and have that conversation using our class model, I just want to let you know the power of forgiveness. And so I want to share Sylvia U. Friedman. She's the Penguin author of A Long Road to Justice. She did a post yesterday. No, actually, the day that I did the recording, the radio was Thursday. So she did it Thursday. And she talks about her experience as a child of being the only child, but a girl in the Chinese culture, and how that impacted her life because her father's relationship with her, of course, in a lot of Asian cultures, ours included, right, the Hmong culture as well, is that we value boys, men more. And so, being that in China you only have one child, they wanted it to be a boy. And so, her relationship with her father has always been around playing sports and that kind of stuff. And that, not, like she always felt this like, this disconnect with her father because of that desire for a boy, right? His desire for a boy. So I'm just going to read this. After a long, honest discussion, Terry urged me to forgive my father and to embrace who I was as a strong, fun-loving woman. He affirmed me as a father figure and spoke life and truth over me. I bawled like a baby. I felt a profound sense of self-acceptance. The performance orientation, the hardening exterior that was an oppressive shell melted away. So that's forgiveness. That's what forgiveness can do for you and your family and your relationships. Is when she was able to forgive her father, it melted that exterior, or like everything that was like bottled up within her all those years. And she could truly then be herself. So if you have a situation like many of us growing up in the Asian culture, we're raised very differently, with high expectations. And sometimes we take that and we hold it in as if we are not worthy, or, we just have so much pressure. So this is just how you can go about having that conversation with your parents if you need to give them some forgiveness. And like the elephant in the room, a lot of times in the Hmong culture, we don't talk about the elephant in the room. We kind of try to sugarcoat it, cover it up, just don't speak. Our culture kind of has that, oh, "Ca hai ca, ca buling tu bao," or like that's a problem. And we don't discuss problems, and we don't put light on problems because it would mean that we are flawed in some way. And so I want to change that narrative. That is not the narrative in the life. And we all know better that that's not the way it should be. And our family relationships is critical to any of our relationships with anybody else, partners, friendships, and even with ourselves. So giving forgiveness to a parent, this is what you can say using the class model, our communication model. Gu shatzi, go go gu nia te gu zi, ni jalu ni haita gu tau gu ching lua. Ma gu lu xie te wa dao gu sa de gu chi zhong zao. Gu chi ya itu ning te dun cai zhong. Wa dao gu chi mo bing se, shai gu tu king chi mo nung re. Gu ying mo nung re, te gu ying ya ning zhong. Ne jalu ma gu xie te gu chi nie. De shi gu bao ne lu gu. Gu lu ne tia. Gu sa ga be hai lu zhong tia bao shi lu. So this is a way that you can have that calm, right? And really speak your truth to it, in to your loved ones in giving forgiveness. So I was watching Bling Empire is another example. I was watching Bling Empire, and again, very ambitious woman. I forget her name now, but just uh, one of the star of the show. She just talks about her relationship with her mom, and when she was able to have that conversation with her mom, like, it was hard on me. You were hard on me, and able to say that to her mom, and her mom was like, "I'm sorry it was hard on you. I love you and want what's best for you. Um, and I'm sorry that you felt that way, like you were not worthy enough and all this stuff." And then they're like, "Oh, let's learn to say I love you from now on. Let's make it intentional to say I love you." So make it intentional to have these conversations with the people you love and learn to communicate more. Chi nhà đất chi lo cái chi hay hay tự lo này ạ hay tự người yêu lúc xia lo cái so nhớ hồi yêu lúc trẻ thì so nhớ hồi yêu lúc thì so nhớ yêu cho cái sao. So the more you can speak those things out, the more you can resolve and just pinpoint the elephant in the room, because we all know, whether it's family gatherings or whatever, if there's tension, there's tension. You feel it. It's in the air. It's in the energy. So calling it out allows you to have the opportunity to build and bridge that relationship. Okay. So that's what I'm going to leave you with. As a last to ending our conversation here is, don't forget to sign up and come to our vision board accountability group. This happens every third Thursday. No, every 4 weeks. I'm sorry. This happens every 4 weeks, and it's on a Thursday at night. So you can go on our website, find out about that. If you're interested in being part of a group that will hold you accountable and ensure that, hey, you get from step A to B to C to D, whatever it is, we're there for you 100%. So again, go to our Facebook to do that. Next month, please tune in. We're going to talk about how to scale up your business. So that's for any of the business folks. Next third Thursday of the month in March at 12 to 12:30, we are going to try to record again. I'm going to attempt, but we're going to talk about scaling up your business. So it was really, truly a pleasure for me to be here, record this for all of you, discussion around forgiveness and the power of forgiveness as it relates to you as a person and your growth and how you thrive in the future, and any of your relationship with yourself and then with others as well. So I hope you enjoy this show and continue to listen in and help us just spread goodness. That's really what we want to do with the show, and with hopefully empowering you to also do the same thing, is spread goodness throughout your communities. So, Shinji